Broadcasting live from the Riddicks via OBS Studio Broadcast Center at Centennial Sportsplex. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network. And it's that weird time in the early part of the season where it's October and everybody's going to get a fall break at some point. And most of the league, their fall breaks are this week. So we've only got 2 games this week. They're both tonight. And they're both here on MTSN. First up, it's an all-supplemental clash between the Outlaws and the Kings. And then it's a private school showdown. Montgomery Bell looking to go to 3-0, taking on Father Ryan. So, we've only got one night of games for you this week, but might be 2 pretty decent ones coming up this evening. Let's go over the final scores from last week. Hold on, folks. I'm getting there. I'm getting to that page. This is an old laptop. It's pretty slow. Okay, Franklin beat Brentwood BAUSN 2-0. Montgomery Bell beat Ensworth Lipscomb CPA 7-3. Tennessee Outlaws and Nolensville finished in a 3-3 tie. Page Summit and Ravenwood finished in a 6-6 tie. Independent Centennial beat Father Ryan 2-0, and JP2 MLK GCS and Rutherford Rampage also finished in a 3-3 tie. Last Wednesday, Station Camp Liberty Creek Nashville Christian beat the Clarksville Kings 9-1, and Hendersonville Beach Lawson beat Mount Juliet Wilson Central Lebanon 4-3. So let's look at the standings. With 16 games played in the regular season, got 3 teams sitting atop the table at 2-0, MBA, Station Camp, and Franklin. Then you've got Page Summit, Ravenwood, and Nolensville all at 1-0-1, 1 win, no losses, 1 tie. Independent Centennial, Father Ryan, Ensworth Lipscomb CPA, and Hendersonville Beach Lawson all at 1-1, 1-1-0, 1 win, 1 loss, no ties. And you've got the Rampage, JP2, and the Outlaws all at 0-1-1, 1 loss and 1 tie, no wins. Clarksville Kings at 0-1, Brentwood BAUSN 0-2, 0-2-0, Clarksville Kings 0-1-0, and Mount Juliet Wilson Central Lebanon are 0-3-0. And again, just 2 games tonight here on Rink A at Centennial. Coming up in just a few minutes, Tennessee Outlaws taking on the Clarksville Kings, and then at 7:45, it'll be Montgomery Bell taking on Father Ryan. All right, let's talk about the 2 teams playing the first game in our doubleheader tonight. First up, the Outlaws, coached by Chris Deming. It's our first time seeing them this season, so we got to go over the roster turnover. Of course, the supplemental team, they'll have a lot of turnover. Kids graduate, and then sometimes schools team up and form a co-op, and they'll lose those players. So the Outlaws last year had a pretty good senior class. Dalton Alejandro, Elijah Freeman, Gabriel Hill, Aiden Camp, A.J. Malloy, Nico Pulley, Jack Resty, and Cody Skelton were their seniors. They also had to part ways with Jackson McKnight. He left mid-season to play junior hockey. Cody Skelton also departed to play junior hockey in the middle of the season. Got a pretty decent crop of players that came back to them this season. Let me get my roster out here. Last one in the very back. They brought back some pretty good players. James Daniel, Malachi Hogan, Josh Kane, Logan Wood, Benjamin Kelly, Chaffin Baggett, Dawson Reynolds, Clive Keeler, Cam Miles, Mark White. They also, unfortunately, said goodbye to Anna Markova. She did not come back this season. I think she's down in Dallas for her senior year this year. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seniors this year. The Outlaws do. Opened their season September 21st with a 9-1 loss to MBA, and then last Monday the 3-3 tie with Nolensville. So let's look at the stats for the team coming into tonight. Josh Kane, the leading scorer. He's the only player with more than 1 point. He's got 4 points from 2 goals and 2 assists. James Daniel and Malachi Hogan each with a point from a goal. And then Bob Cobb, Clive Keeler, Mark White, and Logan Wood all have a point from an assist. Let's move on down to goalie play. And Dawson Reynolds has played in both games, so his record matches the team's 0-1-1. He's played the full 84 minutes, goals against average of 6.0, 6 even. He's allowed 12 goals and 75 shots, turned away the other 63. His save percentage in the regular season so far is 84, or 840. 840 is his save percentage. All right, let's move on to the Kings, coached by Josh Tobin. We featured them last week in our Wednesday doubleheader. And they lost 9-1 to Station Camp Liberty Creek Nashville Christian. Let me get the roster out here. Now let me find their team page so I can go over their stats. There's not a lot to go over. Not a lot to go over in terms of their stats. Aiden Hasse, the only skater with a point. He scored the only goal for Clarksville last Wednesday, and it was unassisted, so he has a point from a goal, and that's it. I'm sure that'll change tonight. And Riley Barnes played that game in goal, so his record matches the team's 0-1-0. Played the full 42 minutes, allowed 9 goals on 38 shots, turned away the other 27. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .763, and his goals against average is 9. As the ice has been cleaned, and we're waiting on, I don't know if we have anyone in the scorekeeper box at the moment because the scoreboard still reads 0.0. We also don't have officials either. All right, both teams hitting the ice. I think the scorekeeper's here. A little note about Clarksville. Connor Bailey not in the lineup tonight, but the Haas twins, Brock and Camden, who did not appear last week, are in the lineup as the warm-up clock is rolling. First of 2 weeks where we'll have lighter fare. Next week we have 4 games, 3 on Monday, 1 on Wednesday. And then it's back to the full 6 games on Monday, 2 on Wednesday the week after that. I'm guessing Montgomery County's fall break isn't until next week, so that's why Clarksville are playing tonight. Quite a few Metro Nashville kids on the Tennessee Outlaws roster, and their fall break isn't until next week. As we're down to the final minute of pregame warm-up. Warm-up's done, so everybody shooting the pucks into the goal, so they're going to be gathered up. Wonder who the Outlaws will go with in goal. If they go with Thomas Redden, that'd be interesting because Thomas Redden last year was the backup goalie for what was known as the Montgomery County Rangers. They had Riley Barnes as their number 1, but chose to go to the pool to get a backup. So they got Thomas Redden, but this year they've got their own backup in Jackson Penfield. Ready to go with the start of this one. Riley Barnes going to be in goal for Clarksville, and indeed Thomas Redden getting his first start as an Outlaws player. In goal for them for this first period. Clarksville will move the puck from my left to right. Outlaws from my right to left. As week 3, a very light week 3 of the regular season is underway, and Clarksville won the draw, but they put the puck into their own zone. Josh Kane is going to get to it in the left wing corner. Puts it out in front, but it's tapped away from Malachi Hogan by Colton Bashirs. Now Aiden Hasse into the outlaw zone. Gets around James Daniel. Brings the puck around to the far side. Tried to pass out to the blue line, but unable to get a stick on it was Jay Morrow. Puck back in the Clarksville zone. Bashir's passing up the near side. Or far side, excuse me. Brock Hasse making his GNASH debut. Brings it into the outlaw zone and they score! Correction, that was Camden Hasse. Passed it off to the slot. And Aiden Hasse with a shot that looked like it took some sort of deflection, ended up in the bottom corner on the left-hand side of the net. And the Kings have a 1-0 lead just 41 seconds in. 13-19 to go in the first. So the Kings get on the board. As Thomas Redden gloves and hangs onto a shot in the Outlaws zone. Draw is going to be to his right. One of the Outlaws that cleared out of the zone. Mark White's going to get to the puck, right wing side of the Clarksville zone. A shot turned away by Riley Barnes. So Riley Barnes tested for the first time and he comes up big. Puck was cleared, now it's dumped back into the Clarksville zone, icing. Bob Cobb sending it in for the icing. Trying to see if Camden Miles could get to it, but he could not. Draw will be to the right of Redden once again. Kings win the draw, and they got off a shot that Redden had to turn away. Now here comes Camden Miles, passing the puck off. Oh, Clive Keeler couldn't get his stick on it, right wing side of the Clarksville zone. Now he's got it, tries to put it out in front for Miles. Tapped on goal! Oh! Tapped on goal, knocked away by Barnes, but it came to the right-hand side of the net where Mark White had it wide open and he whiffed. Here's Keeler. Puck knocked off his stick. White keeps it alive, left point. Goes across to Miles off his skate and over the net, off the inside of his left skate blade and over the net. Clearing attempt held in by Benjamin Kelly. Sent to the front of the net, intercepted. And finally cleared out by the Kings. Jackson Curran at center, hands it off P.J. Burns. Dumps it into the outlaw zone. Cleared out for a moment. Now it's brought back in by Ethan Rawlings. Outlaws trying to get it out. Held in. Jackson Curran to the slot. A shot. Missed the net to the left of Redden. I don't know if he got a piece of it or not, but Jackson Curran suddenly had a glorious chance to make it 2-0 in front, and he missed. Now potential 3-on-1 for the Outlaws. Here's Chaffin back at right wing side of the Clarksville zone. A shot stopped and held on to by Barnes. 11:20 to go in the first. 1-0 Clarksville. Draw is going to be to Barnes' left. One by the Kings are trying to get it up the far boards, but it's held in. Shot in the right circle, misses the net to the left of Barnes. That shot coming from Iskandar Islamov. Now here's Brock Hasse back the other way, right wing side of the Outlaw zone, puts it in front, and a shot stopped by Redden, and he's got it covered. Big save by Redden. Puck was backhanded across to the right-hand side of the net. I'm not sure who got the shot off just yet. It was Camden Hasse. Redden got over in time to make the save and keep the Outlaws down just 1-0. Draw be to his right. Puck goes to the inboards off the draw. The puck comes out in front again. And another backhanded shot stopped and covered up by Redden. I think that was Camden Hasse again. 10:42 to go in the first, still 1-0. Clarksville. Draw is going to be to the left of Redden. Clarksville win it. Puck comes around to the far boards. Outlaws trying to dig it out so they can clear it out of the zone. That came to the front of the net, and the Outlaws able to clear it away. Went off. Clarksville sticking its way out of the zone, and it came on goal. Barnes had to push it away. And a clearing attempt held in. Logan Wood had it knocked off his stick. Bob Cobb comes in from behind to keep it alive, but it's taken away, and now back the other way goes Brock Haas, left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Past the slot, but it hops over the stick blade of Big Brother Aiden as he was going to the front of the net. Now here's Malachi Hogan back in the Clarksville zone. Drops it back to Logan Wood. Got off a backhander that hit the leg of Owen Kennedy. And then the puck goes off the stick of Aiden Haas into the Clarksville bench. 9:53 to go in the first, still 1-0 Clarksville. Draws to Barnes' right. Won by the Outlaws. Shot off the draw by Miles and to be turned away by Barnes, and the rebound was fired past the net by Clive Keeler. Now he puts the puck out in the left circle, and it's one time past the net to the right of Barnes by Mark White. Puck was cleared by Quinn Colhane. And it's going to end up being iced from the Clarksville blue line by Chris Feckner. Draw is going to be to the left of Barnes. Outlaws win it. Here's Cam Miles out to the high slot. Moves down the left circle. Gets away from Quinn Colhane. Moving down the left wing. Passes it below the goal line to Clive Keeler. Keeler in the right wing corner. Passes back to Miles. He's below the goal line. Now he passes out to the left point. And Emerson Kennard, one of the newcomers to this team. This will be his only season because he's a senior. Now Miles out on the far side. Passes up to the right point. Bob Cobb just keeps it alive. Moving along the blue line. Tried to send it to the front of the net. Hit the skates of Cam Miles. Clarksville trying to get it out. Dante Russo with it. Instead of just sending it straight out to center, he put it off the far side boards and out. Now it's brought back in by Mark White. But Owen Kennedy gets in and pokes the puck off of White's stick. Now P.J. Burns carries the puck to center. Oh, but he gives it away. He gives it away to Jackson Collins. Puck back in the Clarksville zone, picked up by Chaffin Baggett. Takes a bump from behind by Burns and goes down. And Sam Frayling will ice the puck. 8:17 to go in the first. Still 1-0 Clarksville. Emerson Kennard, I mentioned, this will be his only season on the team because he's a senior. He's a Hillsboro player. He's from Hillsboro. 3 of the Outlaw seniors are go to Hillsboro. Emerson Kennard, Josh Kane, and Mark White. Draw to the left of Barnes. Won by Clarksville. P.J. Burns carries it to center. Burns into the Outlaw zone on the left wing side. Starts cutting into the front of the net. Gets off a backhander that's stopped by Redden. Back the other way come the Outlaws now. Ben Kelly with a shot from the left wing that's turned away by Barnes. And the rebound sent past the net to Barnes' right by Chaffin Baggett. Clarksville trying to clear the puck. They can't. Kept alive. Here's Alice Cox passing down the right wing to Chaffin Baggett, who gets off a light little shot that Barnes is able to easily steer away with his stick. Alice Cox again keeps it alive. Hands it off to Baggett. He'll leave it. Islam off top of the left circle, shot off the left leg pad of Barnes. Puck out to the blue line, held in. Kelly shot through traffic, sends it into the right wing corner. And it's cleared out by Colton Bashirs. Jackson Curran dumps the puck back into the Outlaw zone. Now Curran behind the net. Backhands it out in front, knocked away from Brockhaus. Outlaws trying to clear it out. They can't. Held in. Brockhaus down the left wing. A shot turned away by Redden. Blockered away. Puck at the inboards. Here's Baggett again. Trying to get it out. Held in by Clarksville and dumped back down low. Dumped back to the inboards. Now Chaffin Baggett from the right wing corner sends it around to the far side, and it goes through the legs of Colton Bashirs. Now there's another chance for the Outlaws. Josh Kane to the front of the Clarksville net, and he scores. Puck went through the skates of Colton Bashirs out to center. Josh Kane was on it, carries it to the front of the net and roofs it, and it's 1-1 with 6:26 to go in the first. Here's Kane at center. Brings it back into the Clarksville zone. Down the slot to the net. Shot. Oh, he hit the post to the left of Barnes. He'd broken through 3 defenders, was all alone in front, and he hit the post to the left of Barnes. Puck was just held into the blue line by Kane. Logan Wood left circle shot. Hit the back of Owen Kennedy. And the puck held in again at the right point. But then Clarksville forced it out to center. It was held in for a moment by Waylon Keeler. Puck dumped back into the Clarksville zone. It's in the right wing corner. Logan Wood. Brock Hasse got around him. Got to the puck, but then he got brought down. Malachi Hogan behind the Clarksville net. Puts it in the right wing corner. Logan Wood. Passes up to the right point. Now across to James Daniel from Waylon Keeler. Oh, but Daniel has it poked off his stick by Aiden Haas. Haas back into the Outlaw zone. But jumping into play D was Waylon Keeler, and he cut off Aiden Haas's path to the net, the front of the net. Now Brock Haas, right circle of the puck poked away. Back the other way come the Outlaws. James Daniel had it poked off his stick at center. P.J. Burns, who did the poking, back into the Outlaw zone on the left wing side. Backhands it out in front, deflected out by the stick of Josh Kane. Now a soft dump back into the Outlaw zone from center, I think by Jay Morrill. Puck comes around the boards to the far side, and it's out. Now it's brought back into the Outlaw zone by Colton Bashirs, but taken away on the far side. Clive Keeler trying to clear, held in P.J. Burns. His shot stopped. Oh, it was stopped by Redden, but then it kind of leaked through and landed into the crease, and he had to cover. Bit of a scare there for the Outlaws. But Redden able to get to the puck in time and cover to get the whistle. 4:10 to go in the first, 1-1. Draw to Redden's right. Won by the Outlaws, and Clive Keeler burst through everybody into the Clarksville zone. Shot, score! The Outlaws win the draw. Clive Keeler explodes through the crowd, carries it into the right circle and fires it, I think maybe off the inside of the post of Barnes' left into the back of the net, and the Outlaws have a 2-1 lead with 4 minutes to go in the first. Puck back in the Clarksville zone. Cam Miles, a shot off the top of the crossbar into the netting above the glass. The Outlaws generating. Draws to Barnes' right. Puck sliding through center back into the Outlaw zone. Bob Cobb is going to get to it before P.J. Burns. Sends it around the wall to the near side, Mark White. Passes to the middle where it's picked up by Cam Miles. Now Clive Keeler, right wing side of the Clarksville zone. Nice D by Owen Kennedy to come in and poke the puck away. It's on the near side boards now. Mark White with it. Passes up to the left point, and Kennard Now back to White at the center point. Shot through traffic. Misses the net to the left of Barnes. Here's Clive Keeler putting it out in front. White with it. Turns his back to the net. Gets off a backhander that goes off a Clarksville stick. And the whistle is blown because the net has become dislodged. The Outlaws threatening more and more as things go on. 3:20 to go in the first. Still 2-1. Outlaws. Draw will be to the right of Barnes. One by the Outlaws is Islamov passing across to the right point. Ben Kelly thought he was going to have to play defense. It went off the stick of Camden Hasse. Kelly lifts the puck over the net to the left wing corner. Puck held in at the left point. Dylan Poe, a line driver into the chest of Riley Barnes, who stops and hangs onto it. Draw will be to Barnes' right. Won by the Kings. Camden Hasse out at center. Hasse into the outlaw zone on the left wing side. Leaves it for big brother Aiden. Top of the left circle. Shot stopped by Redden, and the rebound whiffed on from right in front by Camden. Nearly tied the game up. Puck out at center. Sliding back into the Clarksville zone. Jay Morrow gets to it. Passes up the far side. It's poked away from Brockhaus. Now Aiden Haas through center. Back into the outlaw zone. Lost the puck at the blue line. It's cleared out. Chaffin Baggett backhands it over to Islamov. Islamov takes a shot, top of the right circle, blockered away. Rebound in front, but chopped wide by Baggett. Here's Aiden Haas. Exiting the zone on the far side. Back into the outlaw zone on the left wing. Trying to go to the slot. Puck poked away. It's into the left wing corner. Now Aiden Haas with it again. Tries to come out in front. Shot in the left circle. Stopped by Redden. Shot from the bottom of the left circle. Puck on the near side. Owen Kennedy kept it alive at the right point. Now Brockhaus trying to maneuver to the front of that shot. Score! Brockhaus! The bottom of the right circle. Fires it into the top corner. The right-hand side of the net. And it is 2-2 with 1:43 to go in the first. Josh Kane putting the puck behind the Clarksville net up, and we get a whistle. And they're saying an Outlaws player caused the net to be dislodged. So they're going to drop the puck outside the zone on the dot across from the Clarksville bench. Draw one to the Outlaws. They dump it into the Clarksville zone. Puck in the left wing corner. Josh Kane putting it behind the net for Logan Wood. Came out to the right wing circle. Tried to backhand it to the front of the net. Intercepted and cleared by Clarksville. Puck back in the Outlaw zone. P.J. Burns taking a shot from the bottom of the left circle. Misses the net. Now the puck out at center. Josh Kane couldn't keep it on his stick. Last minute of the first. Here is Malachi Hogan, right wing side of the Clarksville zone. But Ethan Rawlings comes in from behind to take the puck off him, and it's cleared. Here's James Daniel dropping it back at center. Jackson Kern with the intercept. Dumps it into the outlaw zone. Puck behind the net. Daniel picks it up. Passes it up the far side. P.J. Burns sends it back into the outlaw zone towards the front of the net. Sticked away by Thomas Redden. Under 30 seconds left in the first. Puck cleared out by the Outlaws. Here's Josh Kane back into the Clarksville zone. Puts it in front. Oh, but Malachi Hogan couldn't get there in time. Had to get down to one knee to try and get the shot off, and even then he was sticking out his skate to slow it down. Aiden Haas brings the puck to center. Less than 10 seconds left of the period. Here's Haas. Back in the Outlaw zone. His shot blocked. Actually, I don't know if he got it off or not. Behind the net, puts it in front. Jackson Curran shot blocked, and that's it for the first. Well, that was a good first period. Clarksville scored just 41 seconds in. Then the Outlaws scored twice to take the lead. And then Brock Haas scoring his first GNASH goal to tie things up. So the Outlaws and Clarksville tied at 2, at the end of one. Ready to start the second period. Thomas Redden still in goal for the Outlaws. Riley Barnes still in goal for the Kings for this second period. Outlaws carry the puck from my left to right. Clarksville from my right to left. Clarksville win the draw to start the second. Brock Haas, left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Lost the puck to the back checking Bob Cobb. And it's cleared out by Cam Miles as he took the puck away from Aiden Haas. Puck on the far side. Dump back into the Outlaw zone from center. And we're going to have a penalty. There was a lot of jostling on the near side boards. And Clive Keeler is going to go to the box for high sticking. So that's the first penalty of the game. So the first power play goes to Clarksville. Game tied at 2, 13:21 to go in the second. Draw is going to be to Redden's right. Won by Clarksville. Jay Morrill, top of the right circle, shot turned away. Actually, nope, gloved and held on to by Redden. Draw will be to his left. Draw over the Outlaws. They try and clear, held into the right point, but then given away to Malachi Hogan, who will fire it down the ice. P.J. Burns will catch up to the puck. Burns to center. Spins away from Cam Miles. Brings the puck into the Outlaw zone on the left wing side. Whiffs on a shot attempt in the left circle because Hogan had put the stick down to interrupt that. Puck behind the net. Knocked around to the near side boards. Hogan will clear. Oh, he cleared it into the Clarksville bench, trying to fire it down the near side boards. 79 seconds left of the power play, 12:41 to go in the second. Game is tied at 2. Draws to the right of Redden. One, by the Outlaws. They try and clear, and yes, Colton Bashirs couldn't keep it alive at the left point. Josh Kane picks up a puck in the Clarksville zone to the front of the net. Shot stopped by Barnes with a left leg pad. Now the puck taken back at center by Kane, brings it back into the Clarksville zone. Had it taken away, under a minute left in the power play for the Kings. Up and offside. P.J. Burns goes into the zone with Aiden Hasse trailing behind him with a puck. Draw is going to be on the dot in front of the Clarksville bench. It's one by the Outlaws. They're trying to get it out of the zone. They do. Josh Kane at center. Now in the Outlaw zone, but he lost the puck. Aiden Hasse with it. Brockhaus now brings it into the Outlaw zone. 30 seconds left of the power play. As a shot from Aiden Hasse out high. Misses the net to the right of Redden. Puck out on the right half wall. Taken and cleared by Josh Kane back into the Clarksville zone. P.J. Burns will track it down. Passes to the far side at center. Aiden Hasse across to Brockhaus. Brock, left wing side of the Outlaw zone, drops it back to Camden. Shot, score! Camden Hasse from the slot with a shot that goes through the legs of Redden into the back of the net. A power play goal. All three Hasse brothers have scored. And after the whistle, P.J. Burns and Josh Kane had some words. And are they going to put P.J., well, they put Aiden Hasse in the box. But all three Hasse brothers have scored now, and it's 3-2 Clarksville with 11:24 to go. In the second. I don't see anything on the board. So I'm going to have to look at the game sheet here. As the Outlaws win the draw and end up icing it right away. So Aiden Hasse called for roughing. And then it's just the Outlaws should be on the power play. Must be coincidentals because the Kings have 5 players out on the ice as they win the draw, and a shot from the blue line stopped and covered up by Redden. Can't see who's in the box for the Outlaws. Redden. One of the Outlaws, they try and get it out of the zone. It's held in. Colton Bashirs with a backhander. That took a deflection, I think, off the skate of Jackson Collins. Came on goal, and Redden had to stop it. Alice Cox is the puck taken away inside her own zone. Waylon Keeler in the box for unsportsmanlike conduct. Puck out at center. Colton Bashirs with it, waiting on his teammates to get back on side. He does. Passes ahead. Jackson Curran up. Offside. Chris Feckner had entered the zone on the far side and was trying to get out when Curran brought the puck in. 10:35 to go in the second. 3-2 Clarksville. Draw is on the dot in front of the Clarksville bench. Draw one by the Kings. Up, they give it away to the Outlaws. Here's Clive Keeler. Through center. Into the Kings zone on the left wing side. Stops, tries to pass it in front to Mark White. Puck at the inboards. White. Now Camden Miles coming around to the left wing side. And we get a whistle for what? Puck go out of play. Up, no, Mark White's going to be sent to the box. Interference. So Clarksville back to the power play, leading 3-2 with 10:09 to go in the second. Draws to the right of Thomas Redden. One by Clarksville, a shot from P.J. Burns. Stop, rebound, score! Brock Hasse, excuse me. P.J. Burns with a shot from the top of the left circle that was stopped by Redden. Brock Hasse waiting on the doorstep to backhand the rebound in for his second goal of the game and to put Clarksville up 4-2 with 10:05 to go in the second. Could this be the night that this program finally gets its first win? Still more than half the game to go, a little more than half the game to go, but the Kings, they are taking it to the Outlaws right now. Logan Wood brings the puck into the Kings zone. It's back in the Outlaw zone. Josh Kane with it far side, clears it out. It went off a stick on its way out. Now Malachi Hogan's going to have a breakaway in front of shot. Score! Or no, he did not. He did not score, excuse me. Riley Barnes kept it out. I thought he roofed it. Riley Barnes kept that thing out. Oh, man. I thought Hogan had scored from here. He did not. Barnes kept that out and then backed into the net and knocked it loose. Draws to his right. Outlaws win the draw but turn it over to the Kings, trying to get it out of the zone. Puck cleared out by Clarksville. That's back in the Outlaw zone. Bob Cobb trying to get to it. Now Logan Wood, right wing side of the Clarksville zone. Jay Morrow comes by and pokes the puck away. Now it's back in the Outlaw zone. Colton Bashir shot on the left side. Stopped by Redden. Diving across the crease to get to any rebound try. Now Brock Hasse with a shot from near the right-hand side of the net that's stopped by Redden. Puck sent around the boards to the far side. Josh Kane trying to clear it out, and it just hopped over the stick of Jay Morrow, and he immediately knocked it back in and then touches it up offside. 8:48 to go in the second, 4-2 Clarksville. Draws on the dot across from the Clarksville bench at center. One by the Outlaws. Sent towards the Clarksville blue line, but cleared away. The puck out on the far side near the Outlaw blue line, picked up by James Daniel. Brought back into the Clarksville zone. Round the back of the net. Shot in the right circle, knocked down by Barnes. And the rebound, unable to get, I'm not sure who that was, trying to get to the rebound for the Outlaws, but he whiffed on it. Long range shot from center by Daniel. Barnes had to come out of his net, stop it, and cover. That was Iskandar Islamov, who had that chance at the rebound a few seconds ago. 8:10 to go in the second, still 4-2 Clarksville. Draw to the left of Redden. One by the Outlaws and a shot from the right point blocked. That shot coming from Waylon Keeler. Puck cleared out by the Kings. Puck sent back into the Outlaw zone from center. On goal, Redden had to turn it away. That came from Ethan Rawlings. Now Mark White back in the Clarksville zone. Trying to backhand it in front. Stopped by a stick, and the rebound try was poked away by Barnes with his stick, and then Cam Miles got to the rebound and got off a shot that Barnes stopped. James Daniel now back in the Clarksville zone. Shot misses the net to the left of Barnes from the left circle. Miles trying to stuff it in as he comes to the left-hand side of the net. Puck kept alive by Daniel, but he put it off some Clarksville skates and out. Now it's back in the Outlaw zone. Clive Keeler gets to it. It's knocked down by Jackson Curran as he tries to clear the puck out. Aiden Haas holds it in left point, backhands it down towards the left wing corner. Ethan Rawlings with it now. And the puck is going to be iced by Cam Miles. 6:56 to go in the second. Still 4-2 Clarksville. Draws to the right of Redden. Won by the Kings. Aiden Haas. Patching across. Top of the right circle. Shot blocked. That shot came from Jay Morrow. Logan Wood behind his own net. Ahead to Ben Kelly, who gave it away inside his own zone, but it comes back to Dylan Poe. He passes off to Malachi Hogan, who banks it off the near boards and out. Brought back in by Aiden Haas. Shot from the top of the right circle. Gloved and held on to by Redden. 6:25 to go in the second. Still 4-2 Clarksville. Draw to the left of Redden. Clarksville with it, but Camden Haas falls over in the right wing corner, and here goes Logan Wood. Logan Wood out to center. Had the puck poked away. Brought back into the Kings zone on the left wing side. I think it's Josh Kane putting it in front for Hogan. Got off a shot that was stopped by Barnes. He got over in time with a left leg pad. Now here is Camden zone. Gets around Poe in front of shot. Stopped by Redden. That's a big save from Thomas Redden. Camden Haas got around Dylan Poe, got to the front of the net. But Thomas Redden makes the save, and now at the other end, Josh Kane unable to jump around Clarksville defender, and they end up icing the puck. Just slid over the the goal line. 5:27 to go in the second. Still 4-2 Clarksville. Draw is going to be to the left of Riley Barnes. Here's Islamov, shot off the stick of Dante Russo. Then he gets the rebound and fires it across the front of the net from the right circle. Puck is behind the net. Jackson Curran with an interception. Brings the puck out to center. Backhands into the Outlaw zone on the left wing side. P.J. Burns couldn't get his stick on it. Quinn Colhane keeps it alive in the left wing. She's carrying it down the boards into the left wing corner. Pushed into the boards by Bob Cobb. P.J. Burns comes in and backhands it across to the far side. Ooh, and just keeping it alive at the blue line was Owen Kennedy as Jackson Curran dropped it back to him. Now Kennedy gives it away to the Outlaws. And then the puck brought into the King zone offside. It was either Kennedy or Alex Cox who entered the zone before Islamov did with the puck. 4:24 to go in the second. It is still 4-2 Clarksville. Draws on the dot across from the Outlaws bench at center. One to the Outlaws. Dumped into the King zone by James Daniel. Mark White using that big body to Knocked down a Clarksville defender. Puck put in front. Cam Miles, a shot stopped and held on to by Barnes. Remember, this is Riley Barnes' third season in GNASH. He was backup goalie for Father Ryan 2 seasons ago. They were using pool goalies. It was him and Zach Fonsbeck. Fonsbeck was a Hume Fogg student then. Joined Father Ryan permanently last season. Draw to the left of Barnes. Won by the Outlaws, and a shot from James Daniel blocked. Chris Fechner clears it out of the zone. James Daniel tracks it down. Sends it around to the near side. Cleared out by Clive Keeler, but right to the stick of P.J. Burns. Burns spinning around, gave the puck away, lost the puck. Waylon Keeler brings it into the Clarksville zone on the left wing side. Now James Daniel shot in the left point, stop, and they score! Barnes made the initial save, and then the rebound backhanded to the net. I'm not sure by who, but P.J. Burns drove him into the boards. We got a scuffle behind the net. Right after all that, James Daniel will be sent to the box too. Burns will go in. It's now 4-3 Clarksville with 3:24 to go in the second. No, Clive Keeler and James Daniel going in. So it's 4-3. This game was pretty calm for the first period. Again, I'm still not sure who actually scored that goal for the Outlaws. Thinking it was Cam Miles, I'm not sure, because as soon as he scored it, P.J. Burns drove him into the boards. So the Outlaws back within one. I guess nobody's going to have a power play after all that stuff behind the net. Yep, it's going to be 5-on-5. So I guess somebody got a 10-minute misconduct out of that. Clive Keeler, James Daniel both called for roughing. As they're updating the game sheet. P.J. Burns giving a minor for roughing. They've given Patrick Burns 2 roughing minors. P.J. Burns still waiting to see who scored the goal. Kings have the puck in the Outlaw zone off the draw. Aiden Hasse on the left wing side. Now the puck cleared out. Josh Kane picks it up at center. Left wing side of the Kings zone. A shot stopped by Barnes. Puck in the left wing corner. Cleared out by Clarksville. Josh Kane left circle, had the puck knocked off his stick as he was maneuvering to get off a shot. Now the puck behind the net. Pinned up against the right wing corner boards. Malachi Hogan behind the net. Comes around to the far side. Passes out to the blue line on the right point. Benjamin Kelly sends it down to the right wing corner. Josh Kane circling around. Shot in the right circle. Stopped by Barnes. He's got the rebound covered. Logan Wood took a whack. 2 minutes left in the second. 4-3. Clarksville, and they're giving the goal to Clive Keeler. They're saying it was him who knocked in that rebound. That's his second goal of the game. Draws to the left of Barnes. Draw one to the Outlaws. Mark White shot blocked. Puck back in the Outlaws zone, and a clearing attempt knocked down by Camden Haas. His shot turned away by Redden. Here's Aiden Haas. Triple teamed and had the puck taken away. White, left wing side of the Clarksville zone, ran into a Clarksville player, knocked him down, and he's going to go to the box for it. Roughing the call against White. So Clarksville back to the power play up 4-3 with 92 seconds to go in the second. Scored on the power play twice in the second. Draw's going to be to Redden's left. One by the Outlaws, and they clear it. Colton Bashirs picks it up in his own zone, stands behind his own net, passes it out to the near side. Now the puck out at center. Camden Haas with it. Haas, right wing side of the Outlaw zone, drops it back, went off the stick of Brock Haas. Held in Colton Bashirs, a shot over the net from the high slot. Puck went off the top of Josh Kane's head, stays in the zone. Aiden Haas' shot. Oh, saved by Redden, but it leaks through his legs and just past the net to his right. We're inside the final minute of the second. Bashir's keeping it alive at the left point. Now Camden Haas had the puck taken away. Josh Kane out to center. Josh Kane, left wing side of the Clarksville zone. Could not get around the back checking Aiden Haas. Kane still with a puck. Carries out to the blue line, tried to drop it back. And stolen by Aiden Haas, and now here is Camden Haas, right wing side of the Outlaw zone. Under 30 seconds left of the period. Passes it through the top of the crease. Brock Haas drops it down for Camden, leaves it for Aiden. Aiden Haas' shot blocked by Bob Cobb. Well under a minute left in the power play for Clarksville, by the way. And Brock Haas gives the puck away to Josh Kane. Kane out to center. Oh, but he gives it away at center. But then he gets it right back as it went off the stick of Jay Morrow, who couldn't handle it. Now Kane back in the Clarksville zone. Trying to go to the slot. Gets knocked over. Runs into Riley Barnes and causes the net to be knocked loose. 28 seconds left of the power play for Clarksville. 1.1 second to go. In the second, still 4-3 Clarksville. And they're going to have Thomas Redden come to the bench for the extra attacker to close out this second period. Draws to the right of Barnes. One by Clarksville, and that's it for the second. Kings with two early goals in this second. One from Camden Haas, the other from Brock Haas. Clive Keeler scoring late in the second to bring the Outlaws within one. Now the Clarksville Kings lead the Tennessee Outlaws 4-3 at the end of 2. Ready to start the third and final period of this one. Riley Barnes still in goal for the Clarksville Kings. Thomas Redden still in goal for the Tennessee Outlaws for this third and final period. Clarksville will move the puck from my left to right. Outlaws from my right to left. The Kings starting this third period with 27 seconds of power play time carrying over. Outlaws win the draw to start the period. They bring it into the Kings zone, but Clarksville immediately getting a hold of it and clearing it out. Now here's Clive Keeler breaking through in front of shot. Oh, missed the net to the left of Barnes, who may have gotten a piece of it as it went by. Shorthanded breakaway chance for the Outlaws, but they can't cash in. Penalty time against them is up. They're back at even strength. Owen Kennedy clears the puck out to center. Jackson Curran back into the Outlaw zone, gets knocked down on the left wing side. He's drawn a penalty. And that's James Daniel. They call head contact? That's a head contact. That's 2 and a 10. So the Kings back in the power play with 13:20 to go, leading 4-3. Alice Cox is serving the 2, so it's a 2 and 10. Well, that takes out James Daniel for nearly the rest of the game. Draw to the right of Redden. Outlaws have it. It's cleared out, but only as far as center thanks to Colton Bashirs putting a stick down. Bashirs. Woo, fires the puck on goal from center. Redden had to move to his right to shoulder it away. It was a rising line drive that suddenly started to dip right when it got to the net. Now Bashir's keeping the puck in the Outlaw zone, getting off a shot. Stopped by Redden. Hayden Haas can't get to the rebound. Haas with the puck now. Going up the far side out towards the blue line. Maneuvers around defenders. And what on earth? He suddenly stopped skating. What on earth happened there? There a penalty or, oh, the net got dislodged. Net got dislodged again. That's why they blew the whistle. 77 seconds to go in the power play. 12:37 to go in the game. Still 4-3 Clarksville. Officials at the scorekeeper box, they put down James Daniel for a slashing penalty in the game sheet, but I very clearly heard the referee say head contact. I think he saw Alice Cox in the box and wondered why there were 2 players in for the Outlaws. She's serving the 2. Draws to the left of Redden. Won by Clarksville. And a hand pass is going to be called against the Kings. as they were trying to get it down the right wing side. Draws on the dot in front of the Outlaw bench, won by Clarksville, dumped into the Outlaw zone. Puck held in at the left point by Brockhaus. Shot stopped by Redden off his glove and bounced through the crease. Under a minute left in the power play now for Clarksville. Aiden Hasse spins around, falls over, gets back to his feet, gets the puck back, gets off a shot that's over the net. Puck cleared out up the far side by the Outlaws. Colton Bashirs will get to it inside his own zone. Tried to flip it up the far boards, got it past Malachi Hogan, catches up to it, passes ahead to Brockhaus at center. Camden Haas. Now Brockhaus into the Outlaw zone, could not get around the back checker. Whoever that was, I think it may have been Waylon Keeler. Now Josh Kane back into the Clarksville zone, out to the slot, a shot stopped by Barnes. Tries to wrap around, and he says he scored. No, the net got dislodged again. No goal. The referees are going to talk about it, but I never saw a signal. Now the linesman joining in. Outlaws think they've tied this game. We'll see. They've given it. A shorthanded goal for Josh Kane to tie the game up at 4. His second of the game, 20 seconds left on the power play for Clarksville. 11:40 to go in the game. So the goal stands and the game is tied at 4. P.J. Burns, left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Gets off a shot and misses the net to the right of Thomas Redden. Penalty time against the Outlaws is up. They're back at even strength. Aiden Haas behind the net. Left wing corner. Puts the puck out in front. Oh! Brockhaus couldn't get his stick on it. Actually, he did, but he pushed it wide to the left of Redden. Puck out at center now. Dylan Poe pushes it into the King zone. Here's P.J. Burns. Fires it through center, back into the Outlaw zone for an icing. 10:50 to go, 4-4. Draws to the right of Barnes. Won by Clarksville. Here goes Jackson Kern through center. Into the Outlaw zone, but he ran into Benjamin Kelly and lost the puck. Clive Keeler now. Back into the Clarksville zone on the right wing side. Goes below the goal line, puts it out in front, but Malachi Hogan was tied up with Owen Kennedy. Here's Josh Kane. Behind the net, puts it out in front. Keeler whiffs on it. Dylan Poe keeps it alive to the blue line, but it's poked off his stick and out. Chris Feckner jumping in to poke it away. Now Kane brings the puck back into the Clarksville zone. Puts it out in front. Clive Keeler off the glove of Barnes. Barnes with a glove save. Hogan back to Kane. Gets it past the net to the right of Barnes from the right circle. Here's Clive Keeler. Passing it down. Kane in front. Oh, but poked away by Barnes, and the net is loose again. $9:52 to go, still 4-4. Tries to the left of Riley Barnes. Draw over the Outlaws. Puck sent around the boards to the near side. Emerson Kennard keeps it in at the left point. Well, it went off his stick and slid away from him. Now Camden Haas brings it through center into the Outlaw zone. Shot blocked. Puck out on the far side. Now it's behind the net. There's a shot from Brockhaus, right circle. Stopped and covered up by Redden. Draws to the left of Redden. Puck ends up behind the net. Now it comes around to the far side. Outlaws trying to get it out. They do. Mark White at center. Hands it off. Camden Miles, right wing side of the Clarksville zone. Passes off. Clive Keeler in front. Stopped by Barnes right when he got to the front of the net. Now another shot from Keeler. Stopped by Barnes. Back the other way goes Camden Haas. Haas, left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Leaves it for Brockhaus. Brock with a shot in the left circle over the net. Aiden Haas, right circle. Sent it across the front of the net. Now it's behind the net. Brockhaus out to the blue line, trying to pass it down the wing. Aiden Haas with it, right circle. Passes below the goal line. Now drop back behind the net. Aiden Haas comes out to the right circle, gets up a shot, turned away by Redden. Colton Bashir shot in the top of the left circle, blocked. And the Outlaws are going to end up icing the puck. 8:08 to go, still 4-4. Draws to the right of Redden. One by the Outlaws out at center. Puck back in the Clarksville zone. Picked up by Jackson Curran. He'll bring it out. Survived a poke check attempt from Josh Kane. Curran now left wing side of the Outlaws on a shot. Turned away by Redden. Now the puck out in front. Shot, score! Ethan Rawlings from the slot. Fires it over the glove of Redden into the back of the net, and Clarksville are back in the lead. It's 5-4 with 7:44 to go. Pretty sure that's Ethan Rawlings' first GNASH goal. The first non-Haas brother to score for Clarksville this season. All their other goals have been scored by a Haas brother. Oh, and now here's Josh Kane on a breakaway in the Clarksville zone in front of shot. Stopped by Barnes. Got a pass at center when he got in behind. Everybody carried it down the slot. Barnes with a big save. And it goes into the netting above the glass. Draw to the right of Barnes. Won by Clarksville. Sent all the way back down. No icing. It's P.J. Burns. Lost the puck out in front. Back the other way. Malachi Hogan takes a bump, gets bumped off the puck, but the Clarksville player who tried to knock him down went down himself. Or instead, I should say. Puck back in the Outlaw zone. Benjamin Kelly with it. Kelly ends up icing it from his own goal line. 6:48 to go. 5-4 Clarksville. Draw is going to be to the left of Barnes. Sorry, Redden. Draw one by Clarksville, sent past the net by Jay Morrow. Puck out on the near side. Jackson Kern tried to pass in front, intercepted. Brought out to center by Cam Miles. Miles into the Clarksville zone on the right wing side. Takes a little bump from Curran up, and Curran knocked him over. And Clive Keeler shoots the puck into the netting above the glass. There's going to be a penalty here. That's Colton Bashirs, not Jackson Curran. Cross-checking called against Bashirs, and I believe that's going to put the Outlaws on the power play for the first time in this game. They're trailing 5-4 with 6:26 to go. Draw to the left of Barnes. One of the Outlaws, Josh Kane. Carrying it down into the right wing corner. Puts it out in front. Clive Keeler scores for a hat trick. Put out in front to Keeler, who one times it by Barnes. Sounded like may have gone off his glove on the way in or a leg pad, but it's 5-5 with 6:17 to go. Clive Keeler with a hat trick. Draw one by Clarksville. They get it into the Outlaw zone, but it's cleared out. Now it's back in the Clarksville end. Iskandar Islamov trying to poke it loose. Alice Cox can't keep it alive. Here's Brockhaus. Up, outside. Called against Clarksville at the other end. Drawing the dot in front of the Outlaw bench. Puck going back into the Kings zone. Tracked down by Jay Morrow. Islamov trying to poke it away from him. Morrow knocks him down. Banks the puck off the near boards, trying to get it out. Held in Dylan Poe. Oh, we couldn't keep it alive. Aiden Haas back the other way. Now Camden Haas, left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Stops along the boards. Passes across. Puck behind the net. Camden Haas comes out with it. Out to the left circle. A backhander stopped by Redden. Puck out at center. Colton Bashirs banks it off the far boards back into the Outlaw zone. Cleared out by Tennessee. Now Brockhaus with it at center. Lost the puck. Outlaws trying to clear it out. Now Camden Haas sends it back into the Outlaw zone. Came on goal. Redden sweeping it into the right wing corner, which is to his left. Now Aiden Haas with a one-timer in the right circle. I think it was blocked, and the net got dislodged again. 4:46 to go. The game is still tied at 5. Draw to the left of Redden. Puck out on the far boards. Ethan Rawlings. Shot blocked. P.J. Burns with it. Trying to go behind the net. Puck on the right-hand side of the net. And Redden trying to cover. It's still loose. They haven't blown the whistle yet. Now Redden gets pushed, and that knocks the net off its moorings yet again. Coming up next is going to be NBA and Father Ryan. Pregame at 7:35 for a 7:45 faceoff. Draws to the right of Redden. Draw one by the Kings. Slap shot, Dante Russo, left point, stopped and covered up by Redden. Draw be to his right again. Draw one by the Kings. Here's Ethan Rawlings, left wing corner, backhanding it out towards the high slot. Owen Kennedy sending it to the front of the net. It's blocked. Puck still loose. And brought out to center by Logan Wood. Wood back into the Kings zone. Finds himself going to the front of the net. Shot stopped and held on to by Barnes. Rebound sent into the right wing corner. Knocked away from Malachi Hogan. Now back the other way goes P.J. Burns. Left wing side of the Outlaws zone. Backhands it over the net. Now tries to put it out in front from off the boards, and it goes around the boards and out on the far side. Ethan Rawlings will get to it. Passes to the near side. Josh Kane pushing Owen Kennedy away from the puck. Now P.J. Burns back in the Outlaw zone on the right wing side. Trying to go across the front of the net. Has the puck taken away. Oh, there's going to be a penalty against Clarksville. Malachi Hogan got knocked over while he was carrying the puck out of the zone. Slashing the call against Ethan Rawlings. So the Outlaws back on the power play. 3:25 to go and the game is tied at 5. Draw to the right of Barnes. One by the Kings as they try and get out of the zone. Logan Wood keeps alive, but then it's poked away from him by Brockhaus. Now Camden Haas at center. Into the Outlaw zone on the right wing side. Brockhaus decides to carry it out to center. Now goes back the other way, brings it back into the Outlaw zone on the right wing side. Stops at the end boards. Oh, but he lost the puck. Josh Kane sending it around to the near side. Now Aiden Haas with it. Round the back of the net. Tries to wrap around. Stopped by Redden, and he's got it covered. The right-hand side of the net was open. And Aiden Haas went for it. But Thomas Redden got that right leg to that side just in time to keep this thing tied at 5 with 2:41 to go. 75 seconds left of the power play for the Outlaws. Draws to the left of Redden. There's one by the Outlaws, but taken away by the Kings. Now Logan Wood with it. Around the back of his own net out to the far side. Taken away by Brock Haas, who got in front of him. Under a minute left in the power play for the Outlaws. Now Josh Kane back into the King zone. Trying to go to the front of the net. Nice poke check by Aiden Haas to poke it away right as he was going to the front of the net. Now the puck comes out towards the blue line and Brock Haas has it. Haas, left wing side of the Outlaw zone. Ran into the back check of Mark White, who poked it away. 30 seconds left of the power play for the Outlaws. P.J. Burns with a puck at center. Puck slides over the blue line back into the Outlaw zone. Cleared out. Oh, and Aiden Haas tried to go back in, but Burns was still in the zone. Offside called. 19 seconds left of the power play. 1:44 to go in the game, which is still tied at 5. Will either team decide to use the timeout here? Doesn't look like it for the moment. You think the Outlaws would, since they still have some power play time up on the board. Puck in the Outlaws zone. They're trying to clear it out. Held into the near side. Jackson Curran trying to find space. Gets up a shot. Score! Jackson Curran from the high slot with a shot that goes over the glove hand of Thomas Redden into the back of the net. It's a short-handed goal for the Kings, who now lead 6-5 with 94 seconds left in the game and 8 seconds left in the power play for the Outlaws. And now the Outlaws are going to use their timeout. Wow. That's amazing. Look, 4 seconds away from their first win in program history. Timeout is done. Draw at center against 6-5 Clarksville. 94 seconds left. 8 seconds left in the power play for the Outlaws. Puck in the Outlaws zone. Penalty time against Clarksville. Clarksville is up. They're back at even strength. There's Benjamin Kelly passing it up the far side into the King zone. Thomas Redden to the bench for the extra attacker. The net is empty for the Outlaws. And there's an empty netter for Aiden Hasse. In the bottom of the right circle in his own zone. Fires it through center all the way down into the empty net. Long range empty netter, and it's 7-5 Clarksville with 74 seconds to go. Puck in the Clarksville zone up, and Colton Bashir's trying to backhand it around to the far side, backhanded it up too high, and it goes out of play in the right wing corner. Draw be to Barnes' left. If they win this game, Connor Bailey's going to be mad if they win this game because he's not here. They won it without him here. Draw one by the Outlaws, and Mark White shoots it past the net to the right of Barnes. We're inside the final minute of the game now. Puck slapped around the wall to the near side, and out at center, James Daniel with it. Ahead to White. Has it stolen for a moment. Cam Miles gets it back, brings it back into the Clarksville zone, but he falls over. Oh, they're going to say he was tripped. I thought he fell over on his own. Now they're going to say tripping. So the Outlaws back on the power play, down 7-5 with 41.6 seconds to go. Thomas Redden back to the bench for the extra attacker. The net is empty for the Outlaws once more. Draws to the left of Barnes. Outlaws with it. Up, taken away, and P.J. Burns tried to clear it out. He whiffed on it. There's a shot from the slot. Oh, it hit the post to the left of Barnes. That was from Josh Kane. Under 30 seconds to go in the game. Puck held into the right point, and a shot over the net from Malachi Hogan. And Barnes backs into the net and dislodges it. 22.1 seconds to go. Draw is going to be to the right of Barnes. By the way, Aiden and Brockhouse are sitting on hat tricks now, and Brockhouse with a steal. He'll clear it. Into the Outlaw zone, Logan Wood. Ahead to James Daniel. Nudged into the boards on the far side of the Clarksville zone. Still battling for the puck. Time is going to run out, and the Clarksville Kings have their first win in program history. A 7-5 thriller over the Outlaws. Jackson Curran scoring the game winner with just over 90 seconds left, and Aiden Hasse sealing the deal with an empty netter. And the Clarksville Kings have won a game for the first time in program history. Congratulations to them. I said in the newsletter, if the other Hasse twins, Brock and Camden, showed up, they had a decent chance of a win or a tie, and they won it. So the goal scorers in this one for the Outlaws, a hat trick for Clive Keeler. And the other 2 goals came from Josh Kane. For the Kings, the Clarksville Kings, 2 goals each for Aiden and Camden Hasse. No, Aiden and Brock Hasse, and the others came from Camden Hasse, Ethan Rawlings, and Josh Curran had the, or Jackson Curran, had the game winner. Player of the game. I'm having a hard time figuring out who player of the game is. I'll give it to Aiden and Brock Hasse for having 2 goals each. You know what? I'll give Jackson Curran a third of it because he had the game winner. He got to that loose puck, carried it out to the high slot, and fired the shot that went into the back of the net and won the game for Clarksville. So the Kings are 1-1-0, and the Outlaws fall to 0-2-1. Coming up next at 7:35, NBA and Father Ryan. Again, the final score here: the Clarksville Kings 7. The Tennessee Outlaws 5, first ever win for the Clarksville Kings / Montgomery County Rangers program. Congratulations to them. Again, NBA and Father Ryan coming up in a few minutes.